Welcome to another episode of On the Capo Stand. I am David, and alongside with me as every week, our good friend John. John, how you doing?
Good, David. How are you?
Fantastic. Ahmed, how you doing, my friend?
Good evening. Happy Monday. Doing well.
Yes, absolutely. Happy Monday, and our apologies to the people watching us live. For some reason, the service that we use, Streamyard, is having a little bit of lag when we go live. So that's something that the system is doing. Is not us, just so you let you know. But again, we do this for free, so that's what we have. First, I want to um, send my best wishes to our Jewish audience as Yom Kippur wrapped up tonight. So hopefully you had a meaningful and good fast, and your name is written on the book of life. And last night, obviously, Orlando City faced Inter Miami to a 1-1 draw. We're going to be talking about that. Uh, just to go over a few things that have happened in our club in the past week. The win against Columbus was Orlando City's 100th win in MLS. Congratulations to our club, our glorious club, because we're here, we're built, not shoehorn, not shoehorn like some other places. On top of that, our congratulations to Jacqueline, who is the 2023 Golden Boot winner in MLS Next Pro. This young man has basically taken OCB and thrown that club over, or that team over his back. So congratulations to that. Hopefully next year we'll see more of him in the first team. Aside from that, New York City player who spat on Angulo earned a one-game suspension. I debated on mentioning his name, but pieces of trash like that don't belong anywhere, and we're not going to give him promo. I think that should have been a red card send-off. Unfortunately, the ref did not catch it at the time, nor VAR. But they review things. Guess what, buddy? You're gonna get a nice suspension and a fine. That's so disrespectful. It's sickening. Orlando City obviously clinched playoffs at after the defeat at New York City. Unfortunately, awful result. But once again, we go back to the postseason, fourth year in a row. That basically rounds up uh, basically half the Eastern teams already secure playoffs, and that's Cincinnati, Orlando, Columbus, Atlanta, Philadelphia, New England, and Toronto is officially eliminated. On the West, only St. Louis has secure its place in the postseason. Colorado officially eliminated. Four games are left for our Lions this Saturday against Montreal at home, away Wednesday at Nashville, then returning the following Saturday at home against New England to close our season, our regular season, and at home and away. We close officially on decision day, which this year obviously is not a decision. We already know our future is going to be Saturday at Toronto. Before I let the gentleman here talk about what their experiences with the last two games, I have to. I know, okay. I know. I'm not a saint of your devotion. We had our differences in the past. We know that, but we're both Orlando City faithful, and I was surprised when she directed a tweet to one of these trolls from Miami and completely destroyed this man because, of course, the people that want to cut us to size, put us in a box always have to say that our ESL history doesn't matter. So that's somebody else, that's another team. And Kay said, as a founder, when you start a tweet like that, as the founder of a club, you just basically delete your account and you burn your phone. So thank you, Kay, for those words because a lot of people need to remember that we didn't come out. We were not part of a player's contract. We were not selected because a player wanted to live in a city. You and your ex-husband and all the other investors worked hard at bringing this club here into town, and it has been life changing in my life at the very least. So with that said, guys, last Wednesday we went to a little watch party of our own at Murphy's Pub over there on our drive. Great place, by the way. It's not a they're not paying us to say that. It was on plan. We just picked the place because they had the game. It just happened to be close to our friend Tom Lord's hotel, who's should be returning to England this week after two great games he got to witness for Orlando City. And it was a night for us to spend some time. Obviously, the result was not did not go our way. Let's start with you, John, and then Ahmed, and you guys, let us know what you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kay responding to that guy yesterday was not on my bingo card at all. Waking up in the morning, I expected a lot unexpected to happen yesterday. That was not one of them. But yeah, the New York City match in a baseball stadium on a baseball field. Kind of my worst fear of what could happen is what happened, and that's for some reason we tried to continuously play the long ball, which you can do on a full size field, but when it's a short field, you can't do that. You have to do a bunch of quick little short passes to spread the defense out, and then move the ball down the field that way. And this team doesn't seem to know how to do that, doesn't seem to occupy the spaces required to do that. I'm sure these guys got sick of hearing me on Wednesday say stuff about the spacing and everything. But I mean, it showed. New York came out. That's not one of their home stadiums, but their other one, Yankee Stadium, they play on. It's another baseball field, another small field, so they're used to playing on that small, compact space, and they took advantage of it. And it's unfortunate that the two goals were the same person's fault. Actually, ironically, at least before Saturday, 3 of the last 4 goals were his fault. But disappointing performance. I felt like the players were a little bit flat during that game. I know Saturday, Columbus was an emotional match, and that can take a lot out of a team. And they came out kind of flat and stayed flat the entire match.
Ahmed?
Yeah. You know what? I just to pick off right up where John left off, I feel like they did come out flat. And at the end of the match, we clinched the playoff and we got all those announcements, and that's like supposed to be a happy thing. And it wasn't. It really wasn't. It wasn't like not that we didn't earn it, but we didn't that night. We got it through a technicality. It's like winning whatever. We just did not play how we should have. I mean, I was afraid during the Columbus match that after the Columbus match, that this is how we were going to come out. We won that Columbus match. We talked about, we killed it that day, but we came out that same way. And that's what I was afraid of. We were not together. Small pitch, we can come up with all the excuses in the world that we want. That's what we do as a team. We adapt, right? Adapt to different pitches, different environments, different teams. The penalty that we conceded. Tell me about that, right? The guy saves the penalty, and we conceded on second ball. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It was just like they gave it. Like, not, and this is gonna sound the wrong way, right? Like, I love the team, but if I'm standing there in the penalty, that ball comes out, everybody's running for that ball. I was watching a game this weekend with my son. We were watching Liverpool. Same thing happened. Second ball, boom. Everybody was running for the ball. Like that, there was something missing. There was an energy, a drive missing. It was almost like they knew they had clinched the playoffs without knowing that they had clinched the playoffs. But to me, like I've said every single week, and Dixon called me out on it, every game is a playoff game. That's all I can say, man.
No, at the time, I told you guys, my frustration was that I thought that our players basically had given it like a fact, that the penalty was going to go in and that they were going to be down, and it surprised them. I have to say that New York City, to me, played as a team that is looking for the playoffs. That victory against us definitely has put them on the discussion. They are sitting on a wild card position.
Hmm.
They have not missed the playoffs since their inaugural season. They are funded with Manchester City money. And, I think that there's a lot to be said about the conditions of the pitch, but winners, teams that lift trophies, play whoever's in front of them. It doesn't matter if it's a vacant lot in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
or if it's Wembley. You go and you play who you have to play in order to win. I I are frustrated is the word I think. And I if you go on my channel at Davis Channel 76 on YouTube, on the videos that I have posted on my vlog, I actually dedicated a video, one in Spanish, one in English, basically the same topic, about the fact that playing on baseball field has been advantageous for New York City. Is smaller than the smallest pitch in MLS. If you care to know, our pitch is one of the biggest. The biggest of them all is actually Vancouver, because they are facility, multi-use facility. Ours is 120 yards long by 75 wide, and New York City is 110 long by 70 wide. And this pitch that we played on Wednesday, I believe it's a little longer but narrower. Of course, it affected our way of playing wide, and you basically a goal kick might as well be a free kick, But there's no excuse. It was a Wednesday. You can call whatever. I think the frustration is that the last six games that we have gone to New York to play them at home, we have failed to get anything out of them. Especially when in the early days we went there and did whatever we wanted to do, hat tricks and all sorts of things. So it's frustrating to see how we have surrendered points to New York City at home. But that's if anything, we secure playoffs. We're on cruise control. You would have thought that this Saturday uh, in Orlando, I'm sorry, this Sunday in Orlando, um, we would have gotten the results. Miami came to town. It was without their big stars, the players that they claimed are TAM. If those players are TAM, I'm Bruce Willis. I mean, seriously, this league amazes me. Before we go into the talk about the game, obviously the guys were there. Unfortunately, I wasn't. I have to say one thing. As long as Apple, the league, and Adidas have a financial interest invested in Lionel Messi, there's never gonna be a fan base or a team that feels that the refereeing and the result was fair. Um, Aviles should have been sent off in the first half. In the second half, Ruiz should have been sent off with what the league, not me, not David Valentin, the league says should have been a straight red or at least VAR review. And none of that happened. And you may ask, well, David, I guess you're missing your tinfoil hat. And I have to say, if you go on MLS Pass on Apple Plus, what do you see? You see Messi's face. You get to your club, see Messi's face. You see what the needs for them to happen to get to the playoffs, and also so crap. And I watched today. I watched the game in Spanish. The crew interviewed two players from Miami, a staff member from Miami, talk about the Miami fan base. They talk about Messi. They talk about Miami. They never dedicated a single second to the home team. And that to me is heartbreaking because there's international Orlando City fans that want to hear about their club. And this league continues to deny the fan base, continues to destroy what took so long to build. People that will pay money to watch soccer, watch football in the United States of America. So I stop with that. I'm gonna start with you. Impressions about the game on Sunday.
Me? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was looking forward to a great match, man. And I thought for sure it's Miami. We clinched the playoffs. I mean, this was like revenge for the Leagues Cup to kick, to add more to when we met them earlier in the year. When was it? February or March? I was like, this is our chance
March.
to put the nail in the coffin. And that didn't happen. And I'm not saying it didn't happen because of the result. That it just didn't. We came out not the way I expected. Missed opportunities is I can't even say about how many opportunities we missed, right? And yes, referee, bad calls. But I always say we can't play and use that as an excuse. We had opportunities that we could have capitalized on. We didn't finish them. We flat out didn't finish them. I mean, how you're one-on-one, you and the goalie, and guess what? Nothing. At least 2 times that happened, right? My biggest thing coming away from this, and again, I'll go back to what I say. Every game is a playoff round, right? We are in the playoffs. Just because we clinched it, it's already the playoffs. We're in second place. We can easily, looking at the table right now, be in 7th place. And we'll still be in the playoffs. Do we want to be in 7th place at the playoffs? No. But if you look at the last 3 games we played, Columbus, New York, Miami, if we play the first 3 games in the playoffs like this, guess what? We are done. Out. Because right now we're in 2nd, so we're set to play Nashville. So if we win one, draw one, and lose one, we're done. That's all I have to say, man. I mean, it was a great match. It was exciting. There was a lot of fans. The energy was there, but we played better than I felt that night watching the game. After I got home, I wasn't as upset as I was when I was there, because obviously you see it from a different perspective and you're not in the moment. But there was just so much that we were missing. A lot of opportunity.
Absolutely. John?
Yeah, I mean, first to build off what David said, it's interesting. I was talking to a friend a couple weeks ago. Well, I think it was actually right before the Columbus match. And he follows the sport, doesn't really follow MLS. He lives in Indiana. They don't have a team within 120 miles of them, probably. Columbus or Cincinnati would probably be the closest.
Indy 11, USA.
Yeah, but that's more Central Indy. He's 2 hours from hour and a half.
Oh, I got you, brother.
And he was saying, "Oh yeah, Messi's in the league. That's got to be good for it." I'm like, "Yeah, if they handled it correctly." I mean, the MLS has a chance to become, one of the top leagues in the world. They're right on the edge of that right now. And I'm not saying they're going to be up there with the Premier League or the Bundesliga or, the big 4 or 5 leagues, but they could easily be making a push and be in 6th by the time Messi's career in the MLS is over. But they're doing it all wrong. You don't do it by promoting one player, one team, making it easier for one player, one team. I mean, we saw what happened in the Leagues Cup. Missed calls, phantom goals that professional soccer players should never be making an own goal. All of that type of stuff, it's already proven that they can't compete in the league because they're already tired. But they're doing it all wrong. And you can't, we've talked on this podcast before about how the sport is for the everyday working man. That's taking that away from them being able to go to the match and see, a good soccer match. I mean, how many people were priced out until Wednesday from going on to the match on Sunday because Messi was going to be there. Messi stops playing. All of a sudden the prices are cut to basically a tenth of what they were. I mean, supporter section tickets were going for a minimum $300 Tuesday. to all of a sudden Wednesday, Thursday, when it's announced that he's not playing, to being $50. And I mean, they're just doing it all wrong. It's, I'm worried for the league when he leaves, what's going to be left. I know we'll be here, but as far as fans elsewhere, and the income that the league has going on while Messi's here, it's going to be depleted. They don't seem to be willing to make any changes to the roster structure to make the league better. So it's really worrisome to me with how the league's handling it, and it's atrocious. It's making a mockery, even more of a mockery of the league than it was before, than our referees made it before. And on the referee thing, don't forget Yedlin should have been yellow carded within the first 10 minutes yesterday, and he got a yellow card later in the match, so he potentially should have been sent off as well. But as far as the match, I think the boys came out flat. They came out not as bad, not as flat as they did on Wednesday, but you could still tell they kind of had the show up and we're going to win type of attitude, not in a good way, kind of just go through the motions and, we'll put a couple goals in and they'll be in. I mean, the one that killed me the most was Angulo's. I was singing his praises earlier in the season. And honestly, during the streak, he's attacking wise, he's been our weak point. He gets inside the box and he doesn't know what to do with the ball. And he just kind of shoots it towards net with no purpose, hoping it gets through three players that are around him, and then there's no reason that he should not have scored that goal when he was one-on-one with the keeper. Dagger Dan played a beautiful ball for him to run onto. He could have set it up with his speed, could have set it up however he wanted to. And instead he tries to do a fancy no-look near post, roller into the net and knocks it wide. Duncan, it was a tough one. It looked like he kind of lost his balance running onto that one, which slowed him up. And then he tried to put one out from 18 yards. Well, I mean, it's just, I just feel like we keep saying the same thing over and over. Oh, we can't put the ball in the net, or, the referees did this and that. And it's just tiring. I'm sick of seeing this team beat the best teams in the league, Cincinnati, St. Louis. You can even put Columbus up there because Columbus took Cincinnati to town just a couple months ago. They beat them, I think it was 3-0, 3-1 maybe. So we beat the best teams in the league, and then two teams that are, one isn't going to make the playoffs and the other one's right there barely making the playoffs. We get a point out of that, and one of those matches was at home. It's just not, to me, that's unacceptable, period, whether it's early in the season, late in the season. The two matches, Wednesday and Sunday, that should have been 6 points, and we should be well into second place with nobody even close to us.
No, I agree, my friend. Disappointing result. And I'm gonna say it. The goal that we scored was a lucky goal. We always say it. I always say it. Pound of talent, an ounce of luck. If you look back, the ball, I believe it was Ojeda. Yeah, it was Ojeda that had the ball, lost balance. The Miami defender tries to throw the ball out wide, hoping that our defender will get it, and he doesn't see that the Duncan is there, and that's how we score. And it was not making the goalkeeper, because had he gone anywhere else, it would have been stopped. How we lost, I mean, the Miami fan base can never beat us on culture, on football, on loyalty, because when they have a player that on Wednesday leaves on the 30th minute with a 0-0 result. I wish I was making this up. Not even Hollywood, not even Dave Chappelle on a skit. We'll write this down. 0-0 result, 38th minute, and people left in droves. And then people have the audacity, as if we were children, online, to say, "Oh no, people were just going to the restroom." They came back after that. Really? Is that so? Is that so?
In the 35th minute, they have the audacity. Nobody leaves to go to the bathroom in the 35th minute.
Oh, listen, for you to leave a game that is 0-0 with your brand spanking new Messi pink jersey still with the tag on, audacious.
Well, you know why the tag's still on, right, David?
So they can return.
Yeah, so they can return it after the match and go back to rooting for Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona or PSG or whatever they fancy. But to me, they can never defeat us on that. So they have to be like, oh my God, you tied against our Z team. Listen, you're right. We should have won that game. I'm glad that you acknowledge that. I'm glad that you acknowledge that you're 14th on the table. You're playing for a trophy tomorrow. Beautiful. We won that trophy by destroying you in Exploria last year. Those are facts. And your best game against us came after we played the final 2 days later. You do whatever you had to do with us because we were exhausted. The thing with Messi, I said it. I was called a hater. I was whatever, disrespectful to the goal because it seems like some people online, if you say anything negative about Messi, it's like I'm insulting the Argentinian nation, and it's ridiculous to me. I said, look, if you look at a map of Europe and you slap Europe on the United States, you still have room. The countries where he has played are tiny compared to ours. When that guy has to play in Miami on a Sunday, in New York on a Wednesday, and in Vancouver on a Saturday, and that happens, and then the following week is LA away, Chicago away, Orlando away, before he can see I'm telling you, he's 37 years old. He cannot play 90 minutes every single game. And that's exactly what happened to us. They like to bring up the fact that Kaká was here. Well, I'm gonna give you some history because I know you're watching this. You're gonna be listening to this crap. The fact of the matter is that when Kaká was here, the first year, that man never left the pitch. What happened year 2, year 3? He was hurt all the time, tired, exhausted. Because when you have incredibly talented player and you surround that player with people that are not worthy of carrying his gym bag, then that's what's going to happen. I think Miami has a good team. That has a decent team. I mean, obviously they gave us a lot of grief Sunday. And I finished with this. The fact of the matter is, they still had Campana and Martinez, who are prolific goal scorers. We're gonna go to the comments, guys. The fact, all right, sorry, I just left out something here. But the fact is that what I have said, the success of Miami is not one player, is their manager, Tata Martino, the man who won MLS Cup in year 2 with a team that he crafted. It might do it next year. If he's allowed to craft the team as he wants next year, watch out. He's a tactician. He's a very good one, and he outplayed our manager. And we got lucky to get a point. And I know the fans don't want to hear that, but the fact of the matter is that this is not Phil Neville's Inter Miami, the one that we pumped 3-1 at the beginning of the year. It's a different beast. They have reinforced themselves. On top of that, when you play them, you're playing the ref as well. So just saying, they squeeze into the playoffs, and we gotta play them. I have no hopes. You know why? Because the league wants Messi to win. That's fact.
Well, David, you said something interesting. If Tata can build the team the way he wants, they already have 5 DPs playing on their team. I mean, the league's letting them get away with
the TAM. I mean, we know this.
Yeah, we already know this. And then, there's talks all over Twitter that they're trying to sign. I can't think of his name right now. The
Modric, which if he comes to Miami, I'm sorry. At this point, I just gonna say, hey, call me in 2025 when the circus leaves town, because there's no way, my friends. There's no way that you can have Alba, Busquets, Messi, and Modric. You can have these 4 legendary European players in one team, and everybody's TAM. Nobody's a DP. Come on now. Messi's making $50 million a year.
Yeah. Who are we for? And don't forget, they still have Joseph Martinez that's supposedly a DP. and then they had one or two other ones before that. Because remember, they didn't get rid of anybody before Messi came to town. They didn't sell anybody in the summer transfer window. So where'd those three other DPs go that they had to start the season? They don't just disappear.
I believe they got rid of some of the.
I think one guy they got down the TAM deal and got him out of a DP, but that still leaves two, and
Yeah, that would be a great question for a Miami podcast. Of course, they're gonna say, "Oh, we're playing by the rules."
All this and that and the other, just like every MLS, just like every MLS blogger, Will Forbes and Tom, what's his face, tries to make excuses for him. I'm sick of it. The fact of the matter is, Miami has 2 good years, and then they're going to be just back to where they were, absolutely irrelevant. They can talk about their homegrown players and all of this. Cool. You got your homegrown players didn't do crap yesterday.
Listen, you're talking about a fan base that went to cheer on a U12 academy game because that's how hungry they are for football culture. Guys, if you guys can read the first comment here,
I got it. I'll take it. Jim D. Hi, Jim. Gonna have to listen to this one later as a podcast. I think I saw John dressed as a ninja, and unfortunately, that was a poor result. But the circus and its clowns were entertaining.
All right. We all saw the picture of 7 guys relieving themselves in the back, all with Messi jerseys. That's atrocious. And to the person that took the picture on Facebook, oh my God, people were beating him up. So good.
Yeah. William Aguilar, Apple TV is atrocious. This is a whole circus. And I told everybody who came across, Messi isn't promoting the league. He's destroying it from the inside. I think we all agree with you on that one.
No, I agree with that.
Mark Rodriguez. Hi, Mark. Hey, guys, I stayed the whole time. LOL.
Good for you, Mark. Good for you, brother. It only takes one time. That's all. That only takes one time.
VW Hutch, Ahmed, I think I saw you in the wall in the telecast. Yeah, a couple of people saw us come out.
Good deal.
And then William Aguilar, they got rid of Pizarro for what I think was unfair and probably against barca terms legally.
Yeah, they brought him back. They get rid because they had to make room for Messi and his, Barca friends.
And Vixen, hi Vixen. Grigor was the player that Inter Fort Lauderdale had that was injured, and he was a DP.
Oh, great! Good to know. I
didn't think injuries got rid of a DP spot though. The contract's still there on the docket, unless he came into the season and was labeled as out for the season.
Yeah, I believe that's
that an injury during the season. I believe the injury occurred during the season, and that does not take away the DP. Just like if a player got, what was it? So like if we were to have sold Kara after the window, he would still be on our team as a DP. Just like when an injury happens during the season, that DP slot, it isn't abandoned. It's still, that player still takes it up.
No, for sure. I mean, we're riding right now with 2 DPs, one that comes from the bench, mind you. How can we approach this problem in a tactful way? Because I don't want us to be the podcast that, I love all our friends in podcasting, but I think sometimes they're afraid of the controversy. I don't care. I really don't. People don't like me anyways. I was on Twitter before the show defending our supporter groups and the tifos they create because some Uruguayan reporter from Miami was clowning on us, which by the way that's lowbrow. If you're going to come from Uruguay saying that you understand football culture and everything, you understand that was a labor of love. The supporter groups do this on their own free time, by volunteers. They buy their own materials. We can all be Inter Miami, where the club prints the tifos and gives them to them to use over and over. Our tifos have a short lifespan, but it takes hours to create. And one of the supporter guys was like, this guy is not a supporter group member. He has never volunteered for a TIFO, and I hate the fact that I have to agree with him. You know, I mean, I try. If you had to save David Val, if the supporter groups were placed in front of a burning building, and they say door number 1 has David Valentin, door number 2 has Hitler, everybody will be stumbling upon themselves to go save Hitler, because that's how much they dislike me. But that's okay. That's okay. We all love the same club. But and I digress because I just went on a tangent. I forgot what I was going to say. No, well, listen, we have to ask ourselves, and this is the time when I will shut up and I'll let Ahmed and John talk. We have to ask ourselves: are we ready for playoffs? And if we are we gonna go deep? Ahmed already mentioned, if we play like we play this week. We can go hot and cold. You have to go white hot into the playoffs. And again, opens opportunity to ask ourselves if once again if Oscar Pareja is going to be that guy. Because personally, what happened in New York City? Okay, well, you can throw a bunch of excuses, but I always said, winners win games, losers make excuses. And to quote Oscar Pareja, the praise starts with the players, the blame starts with me. So let's start. That's how we do, John. Are we ready for playoffs? And is Oscar gonna be our guy? Because I think that we are very passionate, very emotional when we win, and we go on. If somebody sticks a microphone in front of us, we go puppy in, and all this stuff. And I've seen a lot of podcasters backpedaling. Not us. Right or wrong, we are staying firm on our opinions. I'm not a hypocrite. You can call me whatever you want. You have called me racist. You have called me all sorts of names online. And the fact of the matter is, a hypocrite is never one of them. I stand by my positions, unshakable. I'm the rock of Gibraltar when it comes to that. Go ahead, John.
No, I mean, a playoff ready team comes out, especially when you're sitting at second in the table. And like I said before, you beat the lower teams, period. If we were playoff ready, we would have beat New York, and we would have beat the backups for Miami. There's no excuses for that. You win games, you win the games against the teams that are struggling. And this season, this team's not done that. To start off in the season, we were playing Charlotte. Said it on the podcast at the time. Charlotte was a dumpster fire. What did we do? We went out and basically lost back-to-back games to them. I think there was a game in between us playing them in the league and us playing them in the U.S. Open Cup. But, the 2 matches we played against them, we lost. We still haven't beat Charlotte this year. We have 1 point against Charlotte this season. And playoff ready, if you look at what we put out there on the field Wednesday and Saturday, guys missing open or one-on-ones versus the goalie, guys not moving into spaces that they should, our center attacking midfielder, our team captain, running around in a 10-yard circle for about 30 seconds straight while the ball's getting circled around and not moving into another space. No, this team's not playoff ready. This team will never be playoff ready while Oscar Pareja is a coach. I hope he proves me wrong, but, I've said it the entire year. The MLS has passed him. The MLS, the coaches in the MLS have passed him. That shows he can't coach against Tata. The newer coaches in the league, he struggles greatly against and doesn't do well against. I think the league's passed him. I think, he's done his good service here. I don't think this team will make it very far, unfortunately, in the playoffs with the way he has them playing, because they do have an off night, a terrible off night, like what they had against was it Salt Lake City, and then what they had against New York. And in the playoffs, you can't have an off night. You have an off night, your season's done.
And before Ahmed makes his comment, I want to remind everybody that the format last year was more cutthroat. Seven teams made the playoffs. You have a bad night. See you guys next year. And this opportunity that has been given, obviously, has been crafted because the league wants to make it easy for Inter Miami to get to lift that trophy. Those are facts. And I'm not gonna take more time from Ahmed, but I have to say this. Um, you know what? Go ahead. Oh yeah, real quick. I want to remind everybody that we're on Twitch at On the Capo Stand, on X at On the Capo Stand, on YouTube at Davis Channel 76. We're also on Instagram at On the Capo Stand and on Facebook On the Capo Stand. So you can watch us live on Twitch, Twitter or X, and Facebook and on YouTube. Follow us. Give us a subscription, a thumbs up. That helps us out greatly. And if you want to be on the show, we forget to say this every single week. If you want to be on the show, DM us on any of the applications, and we will gladly, primarily X or Twitter, or Instagram. DM us. We'll send you the link. We'll have you on. Again, no wrong opinions here. I know that you guys go online, Orlando Lions Den After Dark, and then you yell and scream. Come here on the show. Show your face. Let people know what you think. There's no wrong opinions here. Go ahead, Amit.
Are we playoff ready? David, it's a very fine line right now between, like I said before, between second place and ninth. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no, not because of anything other than I've always had this fear. We had this streak, and it doesn't take that long to go from one extreme to the other. We are in second place, and between us and first place is now 11 points. 11 points separates us from first place, and if we were 11 points behind, we'd be out of the playoffs, I think. I mean, we're not going to be, obviously, statistically, it's impossible, but still, it's like we're not there. And you know what's going to be the true test? Our next 3 games. Because our next 3 games, who do we have? Let me see. I just had it up. We have
Montreal this Saturday.
We have Montreal, we have Nashville, and we have New England. If we win these next 3 games, ask me that question again, and I will say yes.
Absolutely.
Right? Because those are going to be our toughest tests, not to take anything away from Toronto, but I'm just looking 3 games at a time because the first stage.
Well, Toronto's eliminated. They're going to play the kids. We all know.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm looking 3 games because the first stage of the playoffs is the best of 3. So show me a good 3-game streak. Okay, so fine. I'll forget about all these games. 3 games from now, we're starting a new slate. Show me 3 wins, and I'll totally backtrack everything I just said. We're ready to go. That's all.
It's a new season. It's a new season. Yeah. And Nashville's a very good team. New England is having their issues. They're still dangerous. Montreal is hungry. Let's not forget that last year they were the ones that sent us home after 1 game on a 2-0 destruction. And like we said, Toronto it's an outlier. I expect none of our stars to go to Toronto, to be quite honest. To me, that game means nothing at this point. Let's send the kids. Let's send the Wilfredo Riveras, the Jacquelines of Orlando City to get some minutes. Mm-hmm. That's the game. That's the game we do that. I wish it was at home, so these kids could be playing for other fans and their families and all that. But this is the game. This is the game that you basically bring all the OCB loanees and the guys that we got in the draft last year. This is the moment to do that. I'm with you guys. Go ahead, John.
If they can put on a performance like they put on against St. Louis or close to that consistently over these next 3 games, even if we lose 4-3, 5-4, something like that. But if they put in a solid performance and don't have an absolute stinker of a match like the last 2, in my opinion, the last 2 have been, and they have those performances that are up to or very close to the St. Louis match's performance over the next 3, then I would say they're playoff ready. But right now, what recent history shows us, they're not.
Absolutely. And that's why, my friends, these are 12 points on the table. And this game is critical. This game coming up, Montreal at home to wrap things up. This is gonna be this Saturday, September 30th, 7:30 at 655 West Church Street. All roads in Orlando lead to the Purple Palace, to the Den. The fact is, your Lions need you. Sold that house this past Sunday. We need to do it again. We need to do it again, not for one player, but for our club, the club that we love and that we support with our money, our time, and our affections. And the reason why I say that is critical is because we're playing Saturday, Wednesday, and Saturday at home again, thankfully. But we're playing Wednesday away, back at home, and Nashville and New England are not your local YMCA pickup team. They are very good teams. Listen, one thing that I will never do in this show, and I have never done in person, I have never done online, is to take away praise from our opponents. We may not like them. We want to defeat them, but the fact is that those clubs are composed by professional football players, people that can do things that I can't do. I get winded just going to get my mail. Okay, I get winded walking from my car to my seat. I have to sit down, compose myself, have a cold drink. I sweat like a pig in my seat. I can't imagine the boys running in that Florida heat. Those are the facts, my friends. Nashville is a very good team, a contender. They had just bad form due to injuries and other factors, but they're dangerous. They sent us home in 2021. People forget these things. People have selective memories. Nashville sent us home, embarrassed us. So, in Hani Mukhtar, in my opinion, one of the best players, the assassin. And we have to. We're playing against a very good Nashville, New England. Again, they have great offensive weapons. Right now they're a dumpster fire off the pitch, but on the pitch, those guys go play for each other. And my friends, when you're talented and you go play for each other, you can be dangerous. And let's remind everybody: New England sent us home. All we had to do was put in a stinking penalty in the back of the net, game on, maybe win it on playoffs, go against Columbus, and right now probably we would have said, hey, remember when we won MLS Cup in 2020? But, it wasn't in the cards. The one thing that I think that they should have understood is I'm not the guy. Maybe giving it to DK, another whole ball game. But yeah, that's what we have, friends. 4 games, 12 points, a world of opportunities. How do you see this Saturday? Because to me, it's a final. One of you guys.
Go ahead, Ahmed.
Honestly, I think this game's a must-win for us. I mean, historically, if you look at the last 4 games, we've lost the last 3 out of the 4 games to Montreal, right? So I think we need this for more than just the win. We need this because the guys need to, if we're going to get out of this rut, this is the time to do it. We can't wait, right? Because we can't wait to get out of the rut until the end of the season, into the playoffs. We need to get out of that rut now, and we need to start in that new direction. So let's call this a blip, and we need that win. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And sometimes, you know what? That's what we need. Unfortunately, we're that type of team where we need to be against the put up against the wall to fight back. So I'm hoping that that's what the guys needed. So that's all I got to say.
John?
Yeah, I mean we have to win. If we lose, we could, like Ahmed said earlier, we could fall all the way down to like 6th or 7th, depending on what happens in the other games. If we don't get all 3 points, and it's a home match, we've said all year, everybody in the sport knows you have to win your home matches. And I think it'd be a good bounce back to beat Montreal after putting up 2 terrible matches in a row. We put away the opportunities that are there that are very good, high quality opportunities. I see no reason that we shouldn't win this game because we have a very talented team. We have a team that could go far in the playoffs, but for whatever reason, this season, except for a couple matches, they haven't put together a full 90 minutes and haven't put together a complete performance. Again, except for a couple performances. And Montreal is beatable. Now, you look at their last 5 matches, it scares me because guess what? They haven't had a point in their last 5 matches. What's Orlando known for? Oh, we're playing Orlando. We're going to get points. We're going to get a win. They have 2 points over the last 5 matches, but they haven't won a match. And it seems like for whatever reason it is, when we play teams that need a win, we give them that win.
That is very true, my friend. I want to remind everybody that in 2015, we win at the end of the season. We won 6 out of our 7 games. We lose in the last one in Philadelphia, and at that point, it was a given that we were not going to make the playoffs. Playoffs that we missed by 5 points on our inaugural season, back when only 6 teams made the playoffs. So, when I hear people saying, "Oh, well, Orlando failed to make playoffs," well, guess what? Orlando failed to make playoffs in 5 years due to the fact that only 6 teams made playoffs. The fact that every year more and more teams were getting in. We were falling behind. Nowadays, making playoffs is easy. You got the wild card game. You got 7 teams that make playoffs. 8 and 9 play for the wild card game. Miami had the opportunity to have that playing game that one year. Again, I think the league has gone too soft on who makes playoffs as of late. But I join the guys on their comments when we have to win. We haven't had a meaningful end of the season since 2015. We missed playoffs 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We had to, we were pretty comfortable. Again, it was a shorter season. 21, 22, 23. Sorry, 21, 22. It was the last day. The last day was deciding that if we were going to make the postseason. Let me remind everybody, it was the last game. This is the most comfortable we've been since 2015 making playoffs. And, again, our fan base is they're like goldfishes. They have very short memories because, the fact is the fact that, again, and I include myself in the group, I was ecstatic when we beat Columbus. I was beside myself, and there's proof when you watch the OC Fan TV videos. I'm there. I'm excited, but how easy people forget that we were in the 69th minute. We were 3-1. People forget that we could have easily lost that game. If that was Sunday, 3-1. I mean, what do you say? And I heard somebody also quote. I love when people quote me. I love it because that means that people are listening. You don't have to like me again. You don't have to like me, but I've been following this sport for almost 30 years, 29 to be exact, and I have surrounded myself with a lot of people that understand this game, this industry beyond what I can do. And I have to tell you that one of the things that managers need to understand is they have to win the games that matter to the fans. You got to beat Atlanta. You got to beat New York City. You got to beat Columbus because it's a rivalry, my friends. And you have to beat Miami. And, the eyes of the world were on us, on our stadium, our fan base, our team, and we laid an egg. That's what we did. We laid an egg. So if we run into them in the playoffs with Messi after, they have laid hands on him and he has felt the healing power of those hands. Maybe they will resurrect Mr. Miyagi and do that rubbing of the hands. I don't know. Somebody has to do something. Somebody has to do something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they bring Mr. Miyagi, and boom. Next thing you know, he's doing the crane kick and wins the game. That's I don't know. So with that said, we're gonna let our friend Vixen, say his impressions and wrap it up after that. Again, inviting everybody. If you want to be on the show, just like Vixen, just send us a DM and we'll gladly bring you on. So here it is, our friend Vixen. Hey Vixen, you're on the campus.
Hey,
How you doing?
Hey,
Good.
Vixen,
How
how are
you
you?
guys doing? Thank you.
Good, how are you, man?
How you doing? I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great, my
Awesome.
friend.
Um. Well, you guys didn't say this, but what I feel like is that. Sorry, I lost my voice at the stadium. I went to the game.
That's
And-
great, bro.
I managed to get Sunday off and went to the match. And you guys didn't say this, but it feels like Miami went to our house and took 2 points away from us. You know, like going to the Atlanta away game made me understand like how much 3 points is worth. And I've never I don't want to lose like an away match or any match like again like after that like they came to our house and took 2 points away from us. Just like when we went to Atlanta, we stole 3 points from that team. You know, like that's what it means necessarily. And you know, I'm upset that occurred. It feels like more like a loss to me after what
Thank you.
happened on Saturday.
Yeah, same here. I agree.
It feels more like a loss. You get like I was so upset. I was like what happened? Like I mean, the last time I saw my team play was in Atlanta, and we were putting on a show, and now it's like the best show that we got was Yedlin going down the field and then Johnson recovering the ball. Doing his thing. You saw that, Rahman?
Yes.
I was like,
Wow, that was incredible.
yeah, that's why I said Yedlin versus the Swedish Rebel on my because that's the like when Yedlin got the ball, the whole stadium was like, hey, oh, hey, and then Johnson got the ball back, and then the whole stadium got louder, like, hey, oh, and then he cursed at the ref, I guess, and got a yellow card after that. I'm like,
Yeah.
No, tell you what, man. I was impressed with the amount of fans that were there. Of course. The Florida Derby always is gonna be jam packed. All that separates us is 4 hours, and now that there's a train that takes you from Orlando to Fort Lauderdale at $79 one way, I expect next year's away game in Miami for people to take that opportunity, jump on the Bright Line train, and just I gotta say, like I see my friends in England always taking the pictures on the train and drinking beers and having a good time and with the flags and all that. That's gonna be us next year. That's gonna be awesome. And I have said this.
for sure.
Our rivalry doesn't have to be a violent, contentious one. They're Floridians just like us. They love football just like us. So I think it's going to be great for our state. I have been online. I've been proponent for years that we should have a in-state tournament at the beginning of the season where all the USL teams, all the MLS teams play together to lift some sort of cup. We throw a name at it. I don't care, because the fact of the matter is we need to foster local rivalries. We need to foster people getting in their cars, getting on the train to go and support their club in the state of Florida. I think our weather and the composition of our population, we're the third largest state in the union. It just gives itself for us to foster football, and I think it will be great. We all make fun of the Orlando City Invitational, but facts are facts, my friends. We had a blast seeing other teams, seeing preseason meaning something, and too bad for all the fans that we won it. Okay, what do you want me to do? If another team would have won the Orlando City Invitational, then you would still make fun of us, anyways. But Vixen,
One Jersey Messi will never win in the United States.
yes, that is very true. That is very true. Never. You can call yourself the GOAT. You can have all the Ballon d'Ors. If you don't have that dog bowl, that Seder plate called the City Invitational, you are nothing. I mean, oh, sorry, I meant Vixen.
Yeah.
We lost Wednesday. We tied Sunday. To me, felt like a loss. Montreal on Saturday. What we already said before you came on, a game that has big repercussions because we have 4 games left.
Yeah.
2 home games, 2 away games, 12 points on the table. What'd you make out of it?
For sure. Before I hop onto that, one thing that I wanted to say to you about the train was that you could take Sunrail to the Orlando International Airport. There's a Lynx bus that you could take the Sunrail train to take a Lynx bus with your luggage and everything, and go to the Orlando International Airport from there.
Look at that. No excuse next year. I think we're gonna take a show
The-
on the road, baby.
Yeah,
we gotta
the
get together and just
the whole
head out to Miami.
We'll do it live
the whole
outside.
thing- the whole thing you were saying about all the fans on the train in England, that could be us. Just imagine a whole train full of
Oh my
Orlando City
gosh,
fans.
that'd be
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Come
I
on,
think it's gonna be
man.
a lot of fun. Looking forward to that, and for for the Inter Miami fans to return to Orlando the same way. I think it's gonna be great. I'm super excited for that because now there's no excuse to go to an
And,
away game down south. Now that we have the opportunity.
For season ticket holders. Season ticket holders. They get 2 away tickets.
You know
I
what?
believe, right? I heard
If the club is listening, which I don't see why would they listen to 4 yahoos at 10 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. But listen, you want people to renew and buy season tickets, do that. Say, hey, guess what? We're gonna pay your Brightline to and from, and buy you a ticket in Orlando. I'm telling you,
No,
forget
I
about
think
it.
That's what William told me, that for next year's season ticket holders, you get 2 away tickets for any match.
Yeah, but if they do that, beautiful, because obviously everybody's gonna take the opportunity to go down to Miami.
Mhm.
For me, like I said, I look at people like you, Vixen, and Amanda, John. All you guys have had the opportunity to do away games outside of the state of Florida, and it's the one thing that I have not been able to do for a bunch of different reasons. One day, yeah, God willing, things happen, like having emergency surgery and things like that life throws at you. But yeah, hey Vixen, it was great having you. I know we'll ask for the link. Will, if you're listening, if you got 5 minutes.
One thing I do want to say before Vixen leaves is, did you see before the match all the clowning, the trolling that the club was doing to Inter Miami on the jumbotron?
I saw that on Twitter.
Funny.
Yeah.
I got there so late, man.
Okay.
I was.
My favorite one is they had a guy holding up with a pink jersey on, holding up his scarf that said season ticket holder, and they put the thing about still has the tags on because he doesn't know if he's sticking around or something.
And his
like
companion was flipping this, very classless. I would be embarrassed if my woman did that to me. But my favorite one was has been a lifelong Inter Miami fan since June of 2023. I thought that was the nail in the coffin, and I had to say it publicly. The guy that took the picture of the 7 Inter Miami fans, all with Messi jerseys in the bathroom, while questionable that you're taking pictures of people in a place where they expect the ultimate privacy. I gotta say that I thought it was hilarious, and it's gonna live in my phone, and it's gonna come out every time it's pertinent. So with that said, you go ahead, Lexon.
Shout out to Ahmed, who made it to the Orlando City FC story. I saw his appearance on there. Where I don't know if you saw it yourself, but you were on the Orlando City FC.
Oh yeah,
story. Yeah,
oh,
you
yeah,
made
I didn't
it on
see that.
there
No, I didn't see
during during the parade, not the walkout or something. I don't know if it's there, but I saw Ahmed's face on there. So I was
The
like,
Oh, that's
camera loves
cool.
him. We were together at the away. It wasn't an away party. It was like a get together to wish the players well.
keep going.
Was it last year? I mean, the outside of the training grounds. I think it was last year, right? The one
Yeah.
that we went to Montreal, and I just the luck that I had. I just happened to be working down the street, and I said, "Let me go and say hello." And of course, Amel was there with his son, our good friend Cleon from Orlando Lions, then a bunch of people from ILF and Rockets, and that's when we got to see Williams almost getting a wreck because he was excited, waving at us, not realizing there was a car coming. And I laugh, but I'm bad. Nothing happened because it was close, and I
Yeah.
met his dad. I met his dad was a great dude, and I gotta tell you, tell your son to be careful. So great time. So Vixen, thank you very much, my friend. Any parting words?
Vamos Orlando. I believe that we'll beat Montreal. I believe that it's going to be a 3-1 victory. I think it's going to be a goal from Cartagena, and then 2 goals from Duncan McGuire. No, well, make that 1 goal from McGuire, 1 goal from Ramiro Enrique. One
Oh
thing I
wow,
wanted to
good
say,
deal.
one
man.
thing I wanted to say was that I feel like Enrique, um, this was William. William said this in the game, and I agreed with him. So he first mentioned it. So credit to him. But he was like, Ramiro should have started the match, and then Duncan McGuire for Duncan McGuire to later on come in because he's just coming off an injury, and this is a Florida Derby that he's starting in. So.
My understanding is that Duncan wanted to start. It is how much this meant to him, and I'm glad he did because he was a goal scorer.
Mhm.
I think Ramiro's a fantastic player, but you gotta go with the heavy hand. And Duncan, like him or not, people, he's a heavy hand. I honestly, personally, would love to see more of Jacqueline now that we have seen what he's capable of. And listen, it's gonna be all hands on deck come the playoffs, especially in the first round, which is 3 games. And they're gonna this is not like we're playing Saturday and this is like boom 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 boom. We're gonna be playing Saturday, we're gonna be playing Wednesday, we're gonna be playing Saturday. That's how it is. If you are hosting, you get to play at home, away at home. If
For sure.
this is why it's important, guys. If we turn out to be one of the teams on the road, that's it. I just don't see us going anywhere because while we've been great on the road in the regular season, I just don't see us going to a super hostile environment
Oh, yeah.
2 times in a week. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So thank you, Vixen.
Thank you.
As
for
always,
having
my
me.
friend, you know that we always appreciate you coming on and give us our insight. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Vixen.
Take care
man.
of yourself, my
For
friend.
sure. Thank you.
Will, my friend, listen, we're about to wrap it up, brother. You want to join? You got 5 minutes. Actually, less than that right now, because I'm giving the, it's I'm the 4th official, and I'm this is the last of it. So coming in from the man himself. So if you're commenting, Will, I mean, come on, just be on the show if you're gonna be asking. One of you guys, if you don't mind
I'll
reading
take
this.
it. William Aguilar terms and conditions with an asterisk. Enter Fort Lauderdale away tickets not included while Messi's there.
Oh,
I think he's
Listen.
talking about the season tickets.
no. So I take that face value because yeah, of course, they don't. The last thing that the Inter Miami front office wants is a bunch of Orlando City supporters, of course, because this is the first time they actually brought more fans. The last time they were in Orlando, they brought 50 or less. I think at least half of them got kicked out before the first half because okay, William says I'm good. I could have joined earlier, but I'm swamped with homework. But I'm with you in the spirit. Okay, no problem, Will. It's all good, my friend. You're more than welcome and be loved here. So, guys, John, I mean, departing words before we say goodnight for the night.
John, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, or I know we talked about it going into it. I thought overall as a whole, the security did a better job than I expected at keeping the Miami fans out of the wall. So hats off to them for being able to accomplish that, because I know I saw them turn the guy right next to where we stand turn quite a few people away, which was unusual for other matches in the season.
No, for sure. Unfortunately, they allowed the away fans to bring smoke. We keep saying this, front office. You act with such a heavy hand when it comes to us, the fans, the guys that pay the bills, they pay your salary. And, when people come to our house, they get free passes. You tell me. All right, Amit, any last words before we hang up the phone?
You know what? I'm gonna finish off like I say. Every game is a playoff game, especially the next three. That's all, man. I mean, the
That's
next
right,
three
my friend.
games are
Even
gonna set the tone.
even the Toronto game.
Yes,
The Toronto game.
absolutely. We cannot
Like,
underestimate any game.
no,
I agree with you
no.
110%.
Like
We
you,
can't-
what have you seen LA Galaxy or the teams that have won previous MLS Cups? Like, have you seen them that just lose it at the last game? No, I have not.
No, they win it and they go on. You're absolutely right, my friend.
Come on.
Absolutely correct. So, with that, my friends, we want to remind everybody that we're on Twitch at On the Capistan, on X or Twitter at On the Capistan, YouTube at Davis Channel 76, Instagram On the Capistan, and Facebook On the Capistan Podcast. You may be one of those lucky people to listen to us on audio. And you can listen to us whatever you consume your podcasts. Thank you very much for the people that watched us live. Thank you very much to the people that do it consistently, by the way. Thank you very much to the people that comment. Thank you very much to people like Vixen that comes on. And nothing against Vixen and Will, but people, we need more of a variety. We are creating a space for you to come on and say, just like Vixen does every week, which I appreciate, by the way, Vixen. And come and just tell us what you think. I mean, listen, it's free. Vixen doesn't pay anything. He doesn't have to bribe us with some Cappy's beautiful tasty sandwiches. By the way, Adam, I'm sending you my love, my brother. The fried or some Charlo hot dogs or anything like that. He doesn't have to do that. All he has to do is say, "Hey guys, send me the link," and we send the link, and he's
That's why I
on.
love this podcast, man.
Well,
That's why I love that. I
Oh,
don't feel
wait a second. Will has a comment here that I think is very pertinent. Ahmed, if you don't mind reading this one.
Sure. William Aguilar. I heard people complaining from the wall saying that Miami fans invaded the wall a couple of times. Is that true?
You guys can answer this one because you guys were there.
Yeah, I mean, from where I was, I didn't notice that. I didn't see that. I know that there was security walking back and forth constantly, and they were looking, but I didn't notice anything. So I don't know about you, John.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything either. I mean, I know right where the two in the terraces, right where the wall starts on either side, they had it roped off, and you weren't allowed to walk through there if you're a Miami fan. So I didn't see anything personally where they tried to
invade.
Invade the wall, if you will.
I was waiting for somebody to run onto the pitch, honestly.
Mhm.
Me too.
That was the other thing. I was like,
waiting.
somebody's
Well,
gonna do it.
I gotta tell you, the guy that did that at LAFC, $15,000 fine, was arrested, had to get bailed out, and he is banned from MLS venues for the next 5 years. I'm sorry,
Wow.
not worth it. Not worth it.
Well, and that's the
Not
thing
worth
about
it.
the smoke that irritates the supporters off so bad, is if one of us were going to bring in smoke and illegally, and just pop a smoke off in the wall, it's an automatic year ban minimum. But then Miami comes in and they pop smoke, and it's not a big deal because you're only supposed to have smoke on the Capistan and be certified to use that smoke.
By the
But
fire
then Miami comes in
marshal
and
and
pops smoke
the
and
Orlando
nothing
Fire
happens.
Department. By the Orlando Fire Department. By the way, the Capitol stands, to be over redundant, are the only sections in the stadium where smoke can be popped. Okay, the people like John has said, the people that do that have to be certified on how to do it. The fire marshal certifies those people. There's records that are kept about those individuals. When people pop smoke in non-designated areas, you gotta remember, people that suffer from asthma. Okay, there's people that, like my wife, my seats are not close to the wall for that particular reason. My wife suffers from asthma. When she goes to the games with me, that smoke will trigger her asthma. An accident can happen. When Tigres came in and they were throwing the smoke onto the pitch, so cans fell on people on the lower bowl. A little kid, a baby can get hurt. This is just safety more than pride that somebody popped pink smoke, letting us know it was a girl
This is
on
what we
our
do in El
stadium.
Salvador. This is what we do in Mexico. No.
Yeah. You can't do that. I'm sorry. If they do it over there, that's beautiful. I don't want to get hit in the head with a can of smoke that is 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, I don't. And and I know what I'm talking about because I worked on pyrotechnics and high explosives in the United States Navy. In the 90s, I was an aviation weapons technician. You want to know about bombs, missiles, pyrotechnics, and ammunition? I am your guy. All right. That's a podcast. That's for my Navy podcast. Stay tuned for that one. It's coming up soon. Guys, hopefully this Saturday we get to win, get the 3 points, and then talk about it on Monday. I want to thank John and Vixen and Ahmed who have joined me tonight to talk about the beautiful game in Orlando City. I will say goodbye, as we always do, by reminding everybody that football is the game for those that don't mind having their mouths smashed and their hearts broken. Football is played on grass, not on paper. Football is cruel and unpredictable, and football is cyclical. And our Lions need your help. We're up this Saturday. Go support them. Thank you very much to our friend Tom Lord, who had a great holiday. We wish him well. Safe travels back to Jolly Old England. We'll see you next year, my friend. May God bless you. As always, from John, Vixen, Ahmed, and myself, may God bless you. And as always, vamos Orlando.